Hey guys, it's Sharon with Little Britain Company. Thanks for checking in with the channel, and I'm going to get started in just a minute on kind of a cool file folio, but I want to say thank you to all my regular subscribers and all my new subscribers. This has just been kind of an amazing week, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to get going, but I'm also going to make a quick request. If you're watching but you haven't yet subscribed, I would really appreciate your subscribe. I'm trying really hard to get to 5,000 by the end of May. We'll see if that's doable, but I would just really appreciate anyone subscribing, and then you get to see as these come through. And right now I am kind of following along with the collaboration that's doing the Paper Stash Smash. They are 20 amazing artists, and I'm really grateful to be able to watch them, and that they offered everyone, if you use their hashtag, you kind of get included in what they're doing, and that's a really awesome thing. So if you're making some of these, use their hashtag paper stash. I have a hard time saying it 5 times fast. Paper Stash Smash, and then you kind of keep up with everything. Okay, that's my quick plea. Today, what I want to do is a file folio. So I'm actually using these colored files that I get from Target. And I have some more files coming out. The smaller index, we've already done the bigger ones, which are super fun. But I'll have 2 more sizes coming out. That one just took a while. And I do use these sort of heavy-duty files. You get 24 for about $7.70 something, so about $8, which isn't bad. I just got a new set in of different, more pastels. They're slightly lighter. These are very nice and heavy-duty. They are serious heavy-duty, which is great. But I just got some new ones in for the next part of the series. So if you want to come back for that one, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump right in. I'm not going to do my normal talking for so long. Okay, so today what I want to do is one of these cool little folders, and pretty much everything I'm doing this on this series, because we're doing, I should show you, sorry. This was the pack everyone voted on. So this is what we're doing, and I'm kind of doing everything around a baking and recipe theme for this series. So it has some great papers. I'm going to make a little file folio for some quick recipes and photos and, that kind of thing. So this is what I'm going to do. It opens really nicely. And again, it really is a very substantial piece. And when you add extra paper to it, it's something you could just leave open on a counter or on a shelf. It's really cool. So I'm going to do a background and a pattern on this the front piece, which is actually going to be, this piece is going to be the front. Let me do it that way. I don't know why I like that at the front. Maybe I'll do it the other way. I think I actually will do it this way. Okay, just fair warning. A lot of what I do, I'm going to do the entire thing beginning to end. You'll see real time what it takes. Please feel free, if you get bored with anything I'm doing, fast forward to the happy parts. So, on the front, here are the dimensions. I don't have to bring that. I can go this way. That's easier. So my background paper, I'm going to do 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then my patterned 3 3/4 by, you know what? I should show you the whole thing first. I get so excited. I get ahead of myself. Let's try it this way. I'm going to cut this file down to, this is going to be 12. What did I say this was? This is, I actually have the dimensions written down. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so this is like 12.5, I think it is. The whole thing from here to here. 6, 10, or 11.5. That's 11.5. I had everything. Yeah, this is 11 and a half. Sorry about that one. So this is 11 and a half all the way across, which is just honestly the reason I didn't measure it is it's just the length of this. I don't cut this down. So it's just from one end to the other. And then, so that should be about 11 and a half. And then I cut this down to 5 inches. And that's 5 inches measured from here to here, not here to here. Just from here to here. That's where I measure my 5 inches. I like to do these where I have the headers, 2 of the headers, but you can do one where there's one in the middle or there's just one, however you want to do it. This is just the way I like to do it when I made these. Okay, and so I'm then going to score each section. So this first section over here, I'll zoom in a little bit. This one's going to be scored at 3 3/4. And then this one will go over to 4. Actually, what I'll do is I don't do it that way. I'm going to go 3 3/4. I'm going to flip my paper and I'm going to go 3 3/4 on this side just to make sure that I have those even sections. And then here are, if you want to take these, if you want those at all, or want to look back, I like to freeze them and then come back to them later. But these are just the measurements for the paper that I'm going to do inside. I am not going to double up on the paper on the inside. I'm just going to do the one for these. So, okay. So, I'm ready to get started. Are you guys ready to get started? I'm excited. Can you tell? Oh my goodness. Everything just makes me laugh. What is it? What does Elf say? I like smiling. Smiling's my favorite. Okay, I'm going to move these out of the way. I really like my guillotines, and I have 2. I have my big one, and I have my small Tim Holtz one. And I go between the 2 of them, just, fair warning. That's what I do. All right, so I'm going to make sure that this is at, that's not going to help me, 5 inches. Kind of. I'm going to take that off. This is magnetic, and that's one of the reasons I love this paper cutter, because I set it down, I can put things just right up to the edge of it, and they hold it in place. For this one, that's not necessarily going to help me, because I need to measure from this piece, not from these. So, I'm sorry about that. I just let's not hit the camera. That's a bad thing. All right, so here's my 5 inches. Luckily, it's easy to tell where that one is. And so this is going to measure, this is going to be to 6 inches on that one. It's good to know. And away we go. And I could certainly make, another out of this one, small files out of that one. Oh, just so much to do. All right, that's all I need for this one, for that, at least that part. So right away, we're up and rolling. Now, I'm going to put, so this, one of the things about this file I should have shown you is that the outside is darker than the inside. I'm going to keep it that way. And I'm going to do it this way. This is going to make it easier for me to do this. So my first inside is going to be 3 3/4. It's going to get me right up here. So I'm going to end up cutting these down a little bit. So 3 3/4 is right there. And then I'm going to do it this way. And 3 3/4 is right there. I want these to stay as what they are. The sections they are. Oh, Sharon, that makes so much sense. Okay. I feel, is that 4 inches? Let's just double check here. All right, so my middle section is bigger than 4 inches. My numbers are off. Why is that? Well, one, because this was trimmed. but not by much. Okay. This is fine. It's still okay. And actually, I should have had it upside down because I actually do want to turn these in. So I should have done that the other way. I should have scored on the other side, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not going to worry about it. I am, however, going to use this top piece to get my little sections down. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to change my numbers in the middle, just so you all know, since I was off. And who knows why, it's the nature of paper. So I'm going to line this up. I'm going to show myself right here where I am. I'm kind of lining this up so I get the exact curvature as I break my, of this piece. Get that out of the way. Get out of the place. And then I want to do this same thing on that side. So smart. Sorry. I'm trying here. Okay. I'm trying my own patience. All right. I'm going to try to do something similar to this side. I'm not sure I'm going to be tremendously successful, but I want the curve. I want the curve to come over enough. You know what? These are going to be folded in. And again, luckily this is really heavy duty and it won't matter. If this was thinner paper, I would probably crack it and make a mess of it. But luckily I'm good. All right, that's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece. It's always when you're in front of the camera. I've made these before. And then you get in front of a camera and suddenly everything is just like, what the heck is going on? All right, I'm just going to make sure that I shave that off a little bit. All right. So this one is about right. Yeah. So I'm going to use it on this side just to show me where that's not going to help either. Oh well, I'll give up. That would be our wonderful Sophia deciding that it's time to say hello. Okay, girl. Usually she does that when there's a squirrel. There's a video of me up there if anyone ever wants to watch it. I was in the middle of doing a video, and Sophia decided that there was a squirrel and she had to bark at it. And I just wasn't paying enough attention, and she barked and I jumped through the roof. Just absolutely through the roof. Scared the bejeebers out of me. And then I laughed and I laughed. I didn't cut it. I was like, you know what? People should see. All right. This is going to be... that one's closer. Let me move this a little bit closer. I don't want it to be that far off. I think that's going to be pretty close. Yeah. And I'll just erase all my marks. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. Little Brit is actually homesick. And so was I. I've been... whatever this is a really weird flu. I don't even know what you call it. I'm fine one minute and then I'm sick sick and dizzy the next. And then I'm fine again. If I'm sitting, I'm fine. If I'm up and, doing stuff, that's when I don't feel so hot. It's really weird. So I took the day off from school too because, you can't have your teacher passing out. Not if you can avoid it. Okay. Cute. Okay. Now, I will tell you, I know that these don't line up perfectly. I like it this way. I think it's really cute. I'm going to get rid of all my little pencil marks on the inside, whatever's left. And I'm sorry if the table's shaking. Hopefully it's not shaking too much for you. I do have a equalizer on the camera, so it should stop that from happening. Okay. Easy peasy. And we're already ready to go. By the way, if you all would like to weigh in about how you see the lighting on this one, I'm trying some new lighting, and I would love to hear what you think. Whether this is better or worse, good, bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I'll take it all. Yep, that's how I want that to go. I am trying to decide whether I want to round the corners on the bottom. And I don't think I'm going to. I also haven't decided if I want it to open like this or this. I mean, I know this is book-like, of course. Guess I'll do it the book-like. We'll go with it. We're just going to roll with it. And hope it all works out. If it doesn't, we'll trim and we'll fix and we'll do what we need to do. Now, you could make these completely even, all three sections completely even, but that's just not the way I do this one. I showed one like this in a previous video, not with this series though. Okay, so I need to remeasure my middle section. It's going to be 4.5 by 5. So with 4.5 by 5, I do an 1/8 of an inch instead of a 1/16 of an inch around. So that's going to give me 4 3/8. No, I do a 1/4 inch, so that gives me an 1/8 of an inch. That should be 4 1/4 by 5 3/4 should be my paper. This is the boring part. I'm just going to use plain white paper here in the middle. That's for your recipe. That's for your writing. That's for whatever you would like it to be. All right. So 4 1/4 this way. And 4 3/4 this way. And we'll take a look. Yeah, I like that. Now, there are plenty of people who prefer an even skinnier edge, and that's perfectly fine. Then you just, move that up by an 1/8 of an inch. I'm kind of happy. This is already moving kind of quick. I love it. It's also really nice when, don't tell me. Is it stuck again? Oh, no, it's good. Okay. This nozzle comes out, the glue comes out a lot faster than I'm used to, and I'm learning better control with it, except that now it's not coming out at all, because that's a little bit gloppy. So my video just stopped for a minute because I had not taken any alarms off, and I have alarms because we don't actually have bells in my school. We only have bells at the beginning and end of the day. I'm actually going to move. I'm going to change that nozzle. I think that's just way too, doesn't give me the control I'm looking for. And I'm going to grab this one. And thank you again to Karen for sending me these wonderful stainless steel pins. I had such a hard time getting good pin. I don't know why I was having such a hard time. Okay, so I had already chosen papers from this pack for the different things. So this is going to be for the front. These two pieces are for the front. And put those aside over here. And then we're going to do this and this. I kind of really like that. And then on the back, we're going to use these two. So our next one is going to be this one. Does that look off? I don't know. So next paper is going to be on this side. I do like to also maintain it lower than this piece because usually I'll put like a heading up here or I'll leave it empty for someone to put their own heading up there. All right, so the next thing is going to be, I keep putting away my papers. Okay, this should be 3.5 by 4 3/4. And just remember, because the 4 3/4 has to be this way because of the orientation of the paper. So I'm going to do 4 3/4 first. And then 3.5. Why does that look weird? I did it wrong. But it's not going to stop me. I just lost a little bit of the paper. This needs to be, this does need to be 4 3/4. Let's do it. 4. Good thing I looked at that and said, wait. So then this needs to be 4 3/4, and this is going to be 3 3/4. No, 3.5. Good gracious. Yes. Yes. And I did cut off the top part that had the hole in it. Now, this is going to be 3.5. You just got to laugh. I mean, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? It was salvageable. That makes me happy. That is interesting. Okay. That is actually too wide. Huh. All right. I'm going to just shave a trim or shave a bit off, trim a bit off, shave a trim. All right. There we go. A little weird. There we go. I might be losing a little bit of space because when you score these, the score is deeper than paper, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this one at 3.5, and if I need to trim some, I will, but I don't want to make it too small because I can't fix that. Okay, 3.5, and then I've got the 4 3/4. And I should have said ahead of time, these particular ones, I'm usually not too terribly fancy. Look at that one. So this side ended up being slightly, but that's so freaking me out. Look at that. It is. I must have been off on my measurement there. What did that end up being? Let's take a quick look. That's 3.5. So the inside, so this one ended up being 3.5. I don't know how I did that. How did I do that, guys? It's all good. It's all going to work out just fine, but you know, I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it. Let's attach these papers. You know, just when you think you got all of your measurements down, everything's going to be perfect. The video is going to go so smooth. Yeah. So much for smooth. Hilarious. Not smooth. All right, there's that side. And then this is going on a nice, much thinner. I like that better. So I'm actually trying to line the tops and bottoms up with this. So I don't know what I did. Did y'all see what I did? Just mismeasured. Looks like that's what I did. But it's all okay because this is so freaking adorable. It is so cute. So I'm trying to decide. I think I might put just a little partial label at the top, and maybe a partial label at the top of that one. It's kind of dark green. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, but right now the inside is pretty much done. Super cute. It's already super cute. Yeah. Okay. So the inside of this one, these are going to be the right dimensions. So this side, I want this to be just this plain, simple green. And so when this is on, it's going to look like that, and that's going to look like that. And I may do a line of something. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. I'm going to do the front last. Okay, so again, this is the back. This is this part here, and it's going to be 3.5. Actually 3.5. 5, 4 3/4. Sometimes you just got to go with it. Yep. Super simple. And then the back. So the back was bigger, and the back is going to be 5 by 4 1/4. And it doesn't really matter because this one's, you know, either way I do it. So I'm going to do 4 1/4. Making sure. By 5. No, by 4 3/4. See? Gotta check my measurements. And that's going to go there. Okay. So let me go ahead and attach those pieces. I'm kind of wondering if I should do it like that. I actually think I'm going to do the dark green instead of the light green. Too much light green. You always want to make sure you get all of your edges. I'm going to say that the reason I'm making so many mistakes is because I was sick. I'm going to go with that. Can I use that as an excuse? Okay. And then let's do the back. So I'm kind of wondering, because I was going to go with the gingham, but I'm kind of wondering with this one. Should I go with the gingham or the flowers? I think the flowers are really nice. I'm going to go with the flowers. I go with the gingham a lot, but I'm going to go with the flowers. It's very nice. I don't know what I just did with my pen that's still stuck to my finger. Okie dokie. Okay, maybe I shouldn't make videos when I haven't been feeling great. Again, I actually don't feel bad. It's this weird thing going around. Have you all heard about this thing? So it lasts about 5 days, and it is manifesting in so many different ways. Some people get a cough. Some people have this weird thing that I'm doing. No fever, but when I get hungry, but then I eat and I don't, I feel nauseous. And then I'm a wee bit dizzy when I stand, but when I'm sitting, I'm perfectly fine. It just sounds so bizarre, doesn't it? Because it is. It is super bizarre. Well. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and double this one up. And this one is this is those weird dimensions. I'm going to remeasure this one because it's freaking me out. So this is 3.5 right now. This is 3.5 by 5. So not the dimensions that I thought it was to begin with. So I'm going to make that 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. That's going to be just the the plain paper background. I actually kind of like the way this looks. It's really not the same old, and I know that it doesn't have the symmetry that we usually see, but I kind of like that. I like that, not everything has to have symmetry. And I'm beginning to think I'm going to add something interesting here. Maybe words. I might get out some stamps and stamp recipe down. I don't know yet. I don't know, but I'm kind of liking it. Is that weird? Y'all can tell me. I can take it. Okay, so I need this to be 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. But we're gonna go for it. Okay, 3 3/8 is gonna be. I'm gonna measure it this way, just so I don't have that funky top part. 3 3/8. It's gonna be right about there. The whole measure twice, cut once. If only I had thought about that before. And then I'm going to switch it just to do this top part. And this is going to be 4 7/8. So right about there. Let's see how that looks. That is pretty stinking good. This is interesting because I'm going to have a little problem with my corner right there. I am just going to do a little bit of that. I need it a little bit more curvy. There, that's not bad. All right, part 1. that's definitely me. So what do you all think? Do you prefer symmetry, or do you sometimes like things like this that really are not fully symmetrical? I'm trying to get this back in. Oh, come on. Ha! There we go. And I'm just gonna take my bone folder. Okay. So this piece is on top. Now I've got to do some more math. Math is hard today. All right, I'm going to go down another 1/8 of an inch. So now I'm down to 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. That should be right for this last piece. And I keep getting that caught up on these. Okay, so I have to do the 3 1, good gracious, 3 1/4 this way. 3 1/4 is going to be this way. And let me make sure it's all nice and straight and even. And my fingers are behind the bar because today I can see myself cutting in my finger. That would be so bad. And 3 3/4. And I'm just turning it like this so I have that straight machine edge. Although sometimes I think my edges are more. Just depends. Not all paper has that perfect edge to it. Okay. Get that out of the way. And then this is going to go in here. And for this one, I'm not going to worry too much about that corner. I did not want the corner to go. I just didn't. That was just me being me. But I'm okay with it touching kind of now because I think it kind of looks like it's supposed to. Mostly because of that little green right there. All right. I don't know if you all even see what I'm talking about. See that corner? Before, when I didn't kind of trim it around, it was actually hitting the edge of that, and I just didn't want it to do that. But I am actually okay with the way it looks here. I think that's okay. So I'm not going to pull it back. Oh, come on. Camera's not behaving. All right. I'm by a window today, and it was being nice, and now there's a cloud cover coming in, so I don't know if that's affecting our light. It's actually really hard to see when I'm doing this. Yeah, I know. I'm very sloppy gluer. I am a very sloppy gluer. But that's okay. All right, so let me see if I can get this right around. That's one of the reasons I like glue, is because I have just a bit more maneuverability with it than I do with my tape. Okay. Right away, we're pretty close to done. I just have to decorate and make decisions out. And try to get this thing into the, there we go, top of the glue. So far, this is this cute little recipe folio. You open it up, you can put a recipe in here. I'm going to put 2 little sections in here, I think, so that you could tuck another recipe or a picture or whatever you want in there. You put a picture here, and recipe there, you know. The sky's the limit. I think that I may use something different. I might use this. If I use that, something different there. And then that would be cute. I think I'm going to use this gingham on both sides of this. I think I'm going to use the gingham here and here. I like it. Okay. But this one is once again uber funky. So I want to cut on the inside of this. And I'm going to do that just a little by little. This one I'm kind of measure cut, just to make sure I get it where I really want it to be. Because of the way it curves in, that's harder than it looks. At least for me, it might be, you know, that's just me. I am not brilliant. Would love to be brilliant. All right, I think I'm going to cut right down the middle of that. It's kind of right down the middle. Right down the middle of that one, which is going to give me less than an inch. I don't know that I want less than an inch. I think I'm going to actually... Let me look at it one more time. If I cut... Okay, right down the middle of this one. Yeah. That's kind of what I want to do. All right. I'm going to go ahead and corner it and see what happens. And this is the corner one I'm doing. This one gives me notches and corners. And I want to see if that fits properly. Almost. It is a little bit too big. I'm going to cut off, I'm going to trim this little white corner here. Just that wee little touch of a corner. How close are these? That one is just a wee bit too small. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my notch again. And let's see how that looks. That is pretty much exactly where I want that to be. That's where I like it. Okay. So this is, golly, it's just under an inch. I'm going to pull it over here. It's like 15/16 by, each of these is an inch. 1, 2, 3, oh my golly. 3 and all right, we're going to go with 3 1/8. I'm going to do like just under that one, like I did with this one. Wait a minute. Measure twice. Okay, so again, right through this middle piece. I'm really just saying this so I can keep it straight. And I went just a touch longer in there. This is, like I said, this is literally just under an inch. Yep. This is approximately 1 15/16 of an inch. And then the length, what did I say that length was again? 3 1/8. Little Brit is right behind me and it's kind of... Did you finish your homework?
I got that one test done.
Awesome. You gonna go take a break?
Yeah.
All right, let me check. Just checking for fever. Nope, no fever. Thank goodness. Do you want to take the Tylenol for your sore throat?
No, it's fine.
Take the Tylenol first, work through it, please.
Where's the Tylenol?
When they're sick and they're teenagers.
Where is the Tylenol?
What was that?
Where's the Tylenol?
Kitchen cupboard.
Okay.
Okay. Take 2.
Okay. Love you, Mom.
I love you too. Oh my goodness. All right, so this one fits perfectly here. This one, oh my goodness, is not right. That's crazy. Let me use this piece. All right. Sorry, I'm just gonna laugh because this is just getting funny. I am really struggling with these dimensions. I just cut that one perfectly. Perfect. It's perfect for that size, but it doesn't work. All right. All right. I gotcha. I can deal with this. It's just one of those days. It is just one of those days. Here we go. All right, so my gingham is there. We're gonna notch this one. Do it this way. Get these little bits out of the way. And then that one's gonna fit there. That's so weird. Okay. If that's the way the paper wants to play it today. I love how I'm blaming the paper and not my own abilities. It just sort of happens. Okay. And the funny thing is when something like this happens, the truth is, if you weren't seeing it, you probably wouldn't. If you weren't seeing me mess up, you probably wouldn't see it. Okay, so the inside is getting there. Now I have to decide what I'm going to do on the outside here and here. I don't know. I think I might want to go really simple, but I love the back. Didn't that come out cute? And certainly, this is something, as I said, is something that can sit up in front of you. So you could certainly put it like that. Or if you have pictures and things, you can set it this way and look at those. So I like it. Okay. No, I'm not going to use the gingham for that. Trying to decide if I want to put something here or if I want to leave it this simple. This is very simple, but I might want to leave it like this so it allows for people to attach their own things. I tell you what, for today, I'm going to go ahead and finish these 2 top parts, and I'm going to leave the inside just like this. So anyone could come along and put their own recipes or pictures or whatever they want to on here. And then if you all tell me that you think that I should put something in here like a tuck pocket or some other piece, you tell me and I will do that. The one place I really am tempted is right here, but I want people to be able to put in a recipe. Okay, I'm just arguing with myself now. It's so sad. All right, what to put on top? I am kind of thinking something like this. So you see when you open the both sides, you get that kind of cool red gingham. But when it's closed, you have a continuation of this red on top. I'm going to do that. I wonder if I have some big enough scraps. I might. I just might. Let me see. I have a lot of scraps. I'll give you guys a better view of what I'm looking at. Right now, I'm holding on to all of the papers and things. and scraps are on the inside. What's on the back of that? It's flowers. It's this one. I don't know if I have a big enough piece of this to do that. I have this one. I don't like it as much. I don't want to use the pink. At least not that pink. Nah. I think I've kind of convinced myself I want to use this red gingham, so I'm going to cut into this new piece. And then I do want to put something on the front, something simple, like homemade with love. I'm going to put it up a little bit. I like that. It's really just a very simple design. I've just made it so complicated. Okay, now for the top part, I am going to, all right, that is going to be an inch. I don't want it to be an inch. I'm going to do this at slightly less than an inch. And I don't know why this, that's slightly better. Okay, so I'm going to cut that. I wonder if those pieces would fit. Oh my goodness. Those are the dogs. So I'm not going to cut a full inch, but I'm going to come close. All right, Cupcake Sophia. Those are our dogs, Cupcake Sophia. They are wonderful doggies. I'm guessing maybe the mailman, maybe a squirrel. At least they didn't scare me this time. Okay. That is going to be too big for that one, but just about right for this one. I'm going to go check on this. So I just went and took a quick peek, and there's nothing there, so it must have been a squirrel. I love my dogs. I love my dogs. Okay, so the 1 inch piece is going to work fine on this side. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Probably somewhere around there. See if I can even see what there's the marker made. Yep. So I'm going to cut this one right about there. Perfect. So let's see what we have to do with this one. This one I need to cut down a little bit further. It's just too tall. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this one. Cut that white piece off. I just love it when my fingers have to get this close to the plate. So I'm going to try right here. I'm going to do this in increments because I don't want to cut off more than I need to cut off. Yeah, I do need to cut off a little bit more. I'm going to cut it just a little bit more. There. Okay, so now, do I want to do it that way? or that way. That one's going to be like that. So I'll do it this way. The reason this matters is just because of where it's going to line up. So the top and bottom of this one, there's red and then white. Top and bottom of the other one is red and red. Why did that do that? That is funky. Okay, let's make sure that this is cutting properly. That's better. There's that one. And this one. Every once in a while. There we go. Get those off. Okay. This has been a really interesting tutorial. I don't know that I've ever had anything go quite this wrong. But at least not on camera. I should preface that. But I will say most of the time when something doesn't quite work out the way I think it's supposed to, or the way I had envisioned it, I usually end up with something I really like. And I will say I am really liking this one. It's very different. It's very different from what I often do. I actually really like the way these sit up. And if you look at some of my previous videos, I did one recently. If you just go back of maybe 10 or 12 videos, I did another series of paper smashing. And one of the things that I did was another one just like this, where it was like for like babies. And I think that one came out really cute. Okay, I'm going to center this one pretty much right there. I like it. I think this ties these in. And on this side, I am very tempted. I have an idea for that side. I have an idea for that side. I have an idea. I'm just going to keep saying, I have an idea. And I think it's actually going to look really cute. Make sure I got those done. All right, this part has to be kind of perfect. Just like that. Cute. Isn't that funny? Do y'all ever do that? Like you make some mistakes or something happens or something doesn't get measured properly and suddenly you're like, oh, I actually really like the way that turned out. And I really do. This is so cute. I like it. I hope you guys like it. Here's hoping. Okay, so the last thing I want to do to this is I actually really want to do something here. And I was thinking about that. It only took me a second to realize I want to put pies along there. I think, let me see if I have a piece cut out here. Oh, I don't know. I think I do. It's not long. I do, but it's not, doesn't have the right orientation. So what I think I'm going to do is put pies here. I'm going to get a full sheet though. I have to find the pie sheet. There it is. I've really been enjoying doing these pies. I love with the Mega Pack, I had so many sheets to use. Oh yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 inch in, and I'm going to make it a tuck. So you could slide something into the side. So I'm going to do 1 inch by Okay, that's supposed to be 5 by... Let me double check what I did here. I did a quarter. I'm going to do just a slight bit in. I might actually fit. Let's start with just getting the 1 inch done. I'm going to do it this way. I want this piece to be the 1 inch. Let's see how that's going to look. So we're going to have this little thing of pies here. Okay. That's what it's going to look like. And I'm absolutely loving it. I hope you guys are loving it because I am loving it. I'm going to turn it over. So instead of my trying to do my calculations and my head exploding, I'm just going to do it this way. Just like that. Whatever this ends up being, that was the measurement I needed. If I can see it. Where'd I put it? I seriously can't see it. What? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's just make that bigger for me. Y'all would laugh if you had seen how close I was to this thing. Just like, what happened to it? My eyes are practically on the table. All right. Okay. Oh my goodness. And just like that, I think it turned out really well. I'm really happy. All right. And this is going to be a nice little tuck. So I'm just going to do a wee bit of glue. When I do tucks, I do not ever do tape because what I found is that stuff gets stuck in the tape. The tape is kind of always sticky. All right. There it is. For me, 45 minutes is record time. Oh, no, it's longer than that because there was a breakup. Okay, well, so you open it up. You've got this. Let me know if you think I should go ahead and add some tucks or a couple of pockets in there. I can certainly do that. I'm really liking it. I kind of tempted to add things like that. I love that. That one's got so much going on, though, maybe on that side. But for right now, I'm just not. I'm not going to add anything else to it. Sometimes less is more. And I love the way this part turned out. And I love that you can open it up this way and have it sit in front of you on a desk. Or you can open it up this way and have it sit in front of you on a desk. And, yeah. All right. That's what we got today. That's the one I made. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it with you. If that counts. Sorry. Can't help it. Okay. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I will see